Alright folks, so today we got a client case study, or a case study of a weightlifter. Now I work with quite a lot of fairly competitive weightlifters, guys that train 6, 9, 12 times a week. I wanted to start with Chris because I think Chris is a perfect example of a regular, normal, recreational weightlifter, okay? A guy that trains 3 times a week. And what's great about Chris is he has other commitments just like myself, okay? He has kids, he has a stressful job, you know, he works as a doctor, he's out there saving lives on the regular. So I think it's really important to see what progress for a regular person looks like. Not someone that's incredibly genetically gifted, not someone that can train 12 times a week, someone that is a regular human being with a bunch of different commitments. And I think Chris perfectly exemplifies that. He's an incredibly hard worker. And I want to take you through what he's done sort of from when he started working with me to where he is now, the kind of things he's worked on and his progress along the way. So what you'll notice in these videos that we've got now is that his initial technique is a little ropey. Some of the initial problems that we notice is that he struggles to get underneath the bar. He's often catching very, very high and then somewhat following it up with either an overhead squat or a front squat. So we've got some issues with depth and some issues with timing. There's also, you can notice from the front, sometimes his head does a really noticeable shift to the side to get underneath the snatch. Resulting in a bit of a push out, some awkward kind of catch positions. All in all, I think it's fair to say, and I think you'd agree with me on this, that technically there was quite a lot to work on at the start. So our first blocks, what we did is we actually dropped the weight right back down. We dropped the weight right back down. A lot of the work that he did, as you'll see in the videos now, was work with a bar with 25 kilos. Sometimes we do some slightly heavier work from a high hang, I say heavier, 25 to 30 kilos, and it was a lot of volume, a lot of reps. So you might see things like, oh, my phone's falling down there. So you might see, 5 sets of 4 or 5 sets of 5 or 6 sets of 3. There was lots of volume work without much intensity going on. But throughout this, at the same time, it wasn't like we abandoned strength work. So he was still working really hard on his deadlift strength, his squatting strength, his overhead strength, building those up and up and up and up and up. So he was still working hard in a lot of ways. The weightlifting work was lower in intensity, just higher in volume to reinforce those technical qualities. And I think what's really important to note, so if I get up some videos from where he is now and look at some of the lifts that he's doing, so we have lifts like power snatch plus snatch. He can now differentiate between those two movements, so he can choose the point at which he wants to catch and receive that bar, which he definitely couldn't do at the start. I think he's got a lot more aggressive at his cleans. He's better at catching them lower. He's definitely got stronger on the cleans. I mean, if you're just looking at the sheer weight on the bar between when we started and where we are now, that's very noticeable. And I still think there's more on the tank in his full clean and jerk, which we'll see at the end of his next training block when we fully realize some of that, which should be quite cool. You'll also notice, if we get up now, some videos of his strength lifts. You look at his squats and his deadlifts, you can see that his deadlifts before have definitely moved up quite a lot to where they are now. You can judge that just by the sheer weight on the bar, just how that bar looks. And Chris is also someone that he's not an incredibly fast twitch lifter. I'll see if I can get the video and then pop it up to the side. When he does his squats, they are often very grindy and very slow. His first rep looks like there's no more reps left in the tank. It looks like he's not going to get any more reps, and he will go and get another and another and another and a fourth and a fifth and a sixth. Keep on grinding those out, and that's a real testament to how hard this guy will work in the gym. He will go on either after a long day of work and other commitments. He'll get in the gym and get the job done, which I think it's something that is really important to hear as a recreational lifter. When you can only get in the gym 3 times a week, you have to make those sessions count. You have to do them well. And I really think he's brought that mindset really, really well. So I'm just going to finish up just by sort of showing you where he's at now, technically what his snatches, his cleans look like. And you can just, judge for yourself from where he started technically to where he is now. I personally, as a coach, think there's a night and day difference. I think there's a humongous technical improvement. I think there's a big improvement in the numbers lifted. And I think there's a big improvement in his strength lifts. So across the board, I'm really, really happy with his progress. So if you are someone that's more a recreational lifter, someone that doesn't identify as being super strength-based or power-based, not someone that's come from a background of athletics. If you're more of a general recreational lifter, if you're newer to the sport, this is a really good example, and Chris is a perfect example of someone that works hard, that puts in the work, and that has improved all of his performance metrics across the board. He's also a pleasure to work with and a pleasure to coach. So hopefully that's a nice little review for you, just gives you a sense of what a recreational lifter's journey might look like, the kind of stuff that we might work on together, and yeah, let's wrap it up there. Catch you in a bit.